my sophomore year of high school, I was asked to write a research paper, an analytical paper that answered the question, what took this evil tyrant from infant to dictator? I chose to research Slobodan Milosevic, but the choice didn't have a very analytical start. Growing up, I heard stories about him from friends. I chose him out of familiarity, not curiosity. There was no questioning involved. I borrowed books on Milosevic, and I started reading them with the theory in mind that these dictators are born ordinary people, like you and me. But somewhere in their lives were present mechanisms that warped them into dictators. Now, is this true? What are those mechanisms? Asking those questions made me ask more questions. At first about Milosevic, but then I started asking questions about the people he hurt. And because reading so deep made the reading so real, I watched as they hurt. Until page 300 something of his biography, talking about the 100th time he killed thousands and then tortured thousands more, and I'm like, wait, what? Killed and tortured on a whim. No reason? How? Why? I was hysterical. I was sobbing and praying that God just take my soul and switch it with theirs, because they're killed and tortured for no reason is almost as tragic as my alive and well and spoiled for absolutely nothing other than watch TV, oh blessed consumer. There wasn't much difference between me and a dictator. Did I want to be a dictator? No. But then who did I want to be like? I want to be like the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What was the difference between him and me? Asking those questions made me ask more questions. And to answer those questions, I researched. I even took classes to learn more. But it never changed my life until I started learning holistically. Holistic learning demands that you question everything and that you fit new information into your existing web of knowledge. There are so many techniques that takes this into place, but I think starting off with knowing what active learning and passive learning is a perfect way. Where passive learning, you read a book or you listen to a lecture, maybe even review some notes from a class hoping it'll stick. Active learning, it's about manipulating information, making it your own. Asking questions, making connections. Emotional, vivid, connected information sits deeper in your mind as opposed to abstract, arbitrary, boring facts. We see this in the Quran. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that the rain coming down, bringing new life into the dead earth, is a parallel to Quran coming down, bringing life to my dead heart. One technique that holistic learning borrows from memory champions is visual linking. Take a word or idea or fact, even a couple of them, assign a visual symbol to each one and combine them using bizarre, vivid, emotional, even comical connections. Another technique that I learned is the QAT. Question, answer, test. Ask a question about something you're trying to learn. Answer the question, but then use a simplifying analogy, visualization, example, diagram to Explain why your answer is correct. Then take this simplifying insight and test it on a different problem or question. I learned these techniques and many more from a man named Scott Young. He's amazing. He managed to maintain an A average in college while running a business, taking frequent international trips, and even having time to socialize, party, work out. GTL. He reads over 70 books a year and remembers what's in them. What happened was that active learning came naturally to him. But he started to realize that it didn't come naturally to others. So he went ahead and researched speed learners, experts in academic success, then went on to pinpoint hidden weaknesses that all students face, finally coming with a system of learning of his own. In his program, Learn More, Study Less, you learn the strategy of holistic, interconnected learning. Holistic learning has changed my life. I was on the path to becoming a dictator. But questioning everything took me to a path inspired by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's changed my life and it can change yours too. And I look to all your faces and I see the people you influence. It can change their lives too. The youth, humanitarian efforts, we need to be building education in order to be informed activists. The sisters that Imam Zia speak of, who are stuck, who are trapped, no place to go. There's a sister in my community in Indonesia. She's 60 years old. Up until very recently, she was selling herself for 20 cents a session, just to support herself. Most of her customers were middle school boys. She had no place to go. Imagine if someone had empowered her with the capability to learn skills, to use them in her life so that she could have a better life, to make those changes. I ask you again to question everything. Question the state that you are in today, that your family is in today, that your community members, the members of the world are in today. Are those conditions of being forever? Or can they be changed? And if so, how? What can you do to help? Like Sister Anna mentioned previously, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Ar-Ra'd, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah doesn't change what's with a nation, what's with a people, until they change what's in themselves. جزاكم الله خيرا كثيرا.